Good morning, Krama.
Good morning, Edison.
So, what is our topic today?
So today we will discuss about the pros and cons of social media.
Social media.
So what is your opinion of this matter, Edison?
I think online learning is it's a good way for the student to gain knowledge from their lecturer, because online learning, they have the freedom to access more information through the internet, and by doing that, the information that they get from the online website, such as like Google, they can use YouTube. The learning progress is more. The learning is more productive.
Okay. I agree with you, but I think there's some things that you miss. I think not all people have access to the internet, so by the online learning, some people at some we call like inside the forest, and there's a limited network sources. They cannot go to the website of the online e-learning, so that they have limited knowledge. I think online education does not have a good benefit to our society. So is there anything you want to say, Vincent, about this?
Ikrama, there's always a way to fix any problems. In this millennium age, students should have their own creativity, or how they solve their problems. You said just now the connectivity problem, right?
Yes.
So I understand what you said. Some people maybe from the village, they have problems with the internet, but maybe they can have more recommendation by going to their friend's house who have internet, so they will learn together, because online learning, the students should learn how to use technology, because nowadays almost everything are using technology. So by conducting online learning, they will have, this is one way for them to learn about technology.
Oh, I see your point, but I think online learning have a bad impacts to that from your point. I think online education will make the students will be self-isolated in the house, especially during the COVID stages such as in 2020 and 2021. Every students around the world use Google Meet to conduct their classes. I think students have a less communication to their friends, because they don't meet them each other. They just meet them in virtually. So I want to add that teachers also do not know whether the students are focused to their lesson. So I think learning face to face is a good way better than online learning. For now, I think that is my statement. What about you, Dennis? Is there anything you want to add?
That's a good point, but in my opinion, online learning, they can improve or make the relationship between the student or between the lecturer and the student become closer. Because, for example, like when we are doing on face-to-face classes, the environment is not very convenient for the student, because the lecturer will teach them all together. But in online learning, if the student have information, or if they have question about what the lecturer teach them, they can use WhatsApp to personal message them, and by doing this, the student, they will be more understand what the teacher teach them in the class. So that's my point. So Drama, what do you think when the relationship between the student in online learning, how do you say it brings bad impact? How do you say online learning is not good to the relationship between the lecturer and the student?
I think students should have meet their lecturers face to face so that they can get some bonds or understanding towards each other. So by using the online learning, the students and lecturers cannot see, cannot talk, and cannot understand their students very well. So I think online learning is not a good way for us to create our bonds with the students, or even with the lecturers, or even with the school environment. Plus, I think students should, like the engineering students, they should have the practical, like they will do some things like with the cars, engines, right? Yeah. So if the lecturers conduct their experiment or even the activities online, students cannot understand clearly because the things or the experiment is not conducted face to face. They cannot reach the things, and so that the lecturing is not good enough for the students to understand that topic. So I think I cannot agree with you this time, Elisa. So what about you?
For me, just like what I said just now, the environment. If we are doing face-to-face classes, the environment is, but actually it depends on the student. But most of the environment is not very. The student is not very comfortable because the environment is like student they are talk at the same time, so the noisy environment will not. It's not convenient for the student to study. So the question, or maybe if they have problems with what the lecturer or the teacher teach them or ask them to do, they will easily lose focus. But by doing online learning, if they have questions or problems with what the teaching classes ask them, so they can just easily ask the teacher again by personal message. So by doing this, the student have no problems with does not understand what the assignment asks, what the assignment that they do in the class.
I see. So, but I think I don't agree with you 100%. Since I want to
Why?
Since I want to add that lecturers should know whether the students attend their classes. For example, some students during online classes in the Google Meet doesn't really focus because some of the students are sleeping. So, as the lecturers, they should teach students to have a good time management, sleep schedule. So, by online classes, students or teachers or lecturers cannot control the students or even teach them how to be a good person in our world. So I think that is my point. I will end my discussion here. How about you, Denison?
Before that, I want to add on more point. For me, online learning is more cheaper than face-to-face classes because the student if the online classes they didn't need to drive to school, so less cost, less money used to attend their class. Should we do a conclusion?
Okay, I will do the first conclusion. So I think we can conclude that social media have pros and cons to our life.
Do you mean online learning?
Yes.
Online learning and
So I think you got a good point right there for proving me the pros of online learning, but not everything is perfect. I see there is some consequences if we conduct online learning in our daily life. So I think we should be a good students and learn very well so that we get a good marks and results. Do you agree with me, Denison?
yes, I agree with you, Krama. For me, actually, online learning, the impact to the student is depend on their self, because these classes, whether we want it or not, like the pandemic happen again, we will. I think most of the school will happen again. So be ready of any of any risk or anything that will happen. Thank you, Kama, for your time. I am so glad to talk with you.
Thanks for spending time with me, Denison.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.